coaches, if you want to show your cameras, feel free to show your faces. If you want to hide behind the camera, that's okay too. If you got questions at any time, feel free to stop, Coach, or we've got the group chat. You can just type them in the group chat, and by the end of it, we can have a little Q&A if there's time. But we got Coach Pena here today, and I know he's got a heck of a resume. Coached in the Euro Cup. I believe you won the Euro Cup. Isn't that right, Coach?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, he was in the CBA top league of China. Was in one of the top organizations in Indonesia. Now he's in Japan, one of the best basketball markets in the world. So lucky to have you, Coach. Like I said, we should have about 30 to 40 coaches on this today, based on what I've been told. So we can start now, and then coaches can join as they come. And like I said, coaches, feel free to. I'd ask you to mute your cameras for now, and then anytime if you want to ask a question, either put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. But with that being said, we're talking about passing today. So, Coach Manuel, I'll let you take it away.
Okay, well, with this presentation, Matt, thank you very much. First of all, thank you, and what you are doing is amazing, I think. So please, if they have some question during the presentation, be sure that you stop me, because in a few minutes I'm gonna just start sharing my screen, and I'm gonna put the presentation that I have. So, and also I like when I'm doing this kind of presentations, I like something alive. So at some point, probably I'm gonna be asking some questions, okay? Not just for the people to see if they are awake or not, just because I'm interested that what I'm presenting is good. As you say, well, I'm Spanish, coming from Spanish National Federation. I was working also in England for a few years over there, and after I have been in China, Indonesia, and Japan now. So some of the achievements, as you say, Matt, yes, I was lucky to be in a team that we won the Euro Cup. So that was great, amazing with Gran Canaria. I have been working with coaches like Jack Alakovic, with like Porfi Fisac, like Sergio Hernandez Oveja, or Diego Campo, for example. So great coaches. Also under the umbrella of Luis Gil, which is assistant coach in the Spanish national team. So pretty good, pretty happy about everybody on my pathway, because I think that the great thing is like learn from all the coaches. So I hope you take something from me. At the same time, I'm very open to develop and to present things, because I was working 7 years with the Spanish Federation as a teacher over there for courses for coaches. And this is something that I really like. So present and be a lecturer is something that I really like. And I prepare this with a very passion. So because we are going to talk about something that, Matt, you told me that for the moment, no one was talking yet. And we are going to be talking about a fundamental that is nice, but sometimes we forget, because everything is about shooting, because we need to score. Yes. Everything is about ball handling, because all the trends for the player development coaches probably in US, we see a lot of ball handling, but what about passing? So that's something that I wanted to present to you. So if you want, I can just start sharing the screen.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach. Your show should
All
be.
right. Should be here. So I hope you can see this.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So, well, I mean, I did already a little bit of my presentation, but I'm not important today. The important thing is the passing, right? So let's go about that. And well, the first thing that I want to say is like we are going to talk about sharing the ball, right? At the end of the day, okay, what do we are doing is like a team sport, right? And a team sport with only one basketball means like, okay, with 5 people, we need to share the ball, or if not, someone is going to be very bored only defending all the time, right? So for me, a team like is having a lot of assists, is a team is having a lot of sharing the ball, and it's a team like we can just give a lot of, let's see, options to score, right? So because it's more threats. We are going to talk here about some techniques, drills, and some examples that I found for you guys. So then basically I want to start just saying for these people that is also in youth programs, because Matt, you told me that we have a bit of mix of people.
Yep.
That share is not easy. So I mean the human, okay, and I listened, for example, a very nice comedian in Spain like long time ago, and he say, okay, we are asking the kids to share. Okay, no, you have to share the toy. No, you have to share the ball. No, you have to when they are in a park, right? And at the end of the day, if we adults, someone is saying to you, oh no, go to the bakery and share your telephone, all right? So no, I'm gonna say no, it's my telephone, right? So the human try to protect their sources. So then when you are saying to the kid to share, it's not easy for them because it's not in our, let's see, initial ID, all right? So something like I listen like in this comedian and I was saying, wow, it's interesting because this comedian was talking about education. So I think that important part of our education have to be like learn how to share. And this is very linked, okay, with our sport. That's why I wanted to start with this small TED talk. Uh, Benefit of passing, okay, very easy for me, okay, improve the flow of the game flow. So a team that is like a passing instead of dribbling when they are going for the fast break with a couple of passes, okay, for sure, you can see that everybody pass the ball quicker from defense to offense if we are using two passes instead of dribbling. It's going to be easier to score because either, okay, if you have assist or like a hockey pass, like pre-assist, they call sometimes, you are going to find, okay, better space and the catch and shoot from the people is going to be with higher percentage. We are going to talk later about it. And when you pass, more people is happy, so happy teammates, because at the end of the day, everybody can touch the ball, right? So my reflection of that is, what do we train? How do we train? Okay. So normally, if we talk about nutrition, okay, we can say we are what we eat. In basketball, we can say we are what we train. Let's see a couple of examples in different levels, okay? Example one, youth stage. The first thing that everybody say in the youth stage, I'm saying as well, mini ballers, everybody with ball, because it's important, okay, to have ball handling, okay, a lot of dribbling, a lot of finishing, because if you have one ball for 5 kids, at the end of the day, the repetition of the dribbling or the shooting for one player is going to be very reduced. So then you need to multiply the times that they have the contact with the important object, which is the ball, right? Then, what happens when we go and translate to a game? So that at the end of the day, because you are practicing a lot of dribbling, a lot of finishing, a lot of dribbling, a lot of finishing, the kids, they have few passes and many turnovers. That's the thing when we are starting. And it's normal, but it's arriving to one moment that we need to just balance that. Second example, high performance, okay? High performance and high stage. So what happened? Player development coach is just having like an individual workout with one player. What they are going to be working? I'm saying to you, 90% of the time is going to be ball handling, finishing, okay, step back, all right. So like under the legs, fakes, pump fake, finish, fade away. But everything is going to be related ball and dribbling and finishing. But few times, okay, you can see some workout with one player that is going to be with passing. After I'm going to ask you if you think that we can just work individually, but passing. I will ask you later. But if we are doing that in high performance, and that happened as well when I was, for example, in China, that we had like one American great player development coach, but he was working a lot, okay, ball handling, finishing. What happened when we go to the games? That we had a lot of pull-ups, more pull-ups than spot-ups. Why? Because that's what the players they were practicing. So actually, if we go for statistics, normally you have more better percentage in spot-ups than in pull-up. what is happening now? Some players, they are raising the level of their pull-up because they are practicing a lot that, which is good. It's not bad. But obviously, we reduce the impact of the passing, and that's happening. So different examples, different ages, and for sure you can just be watching this example in your reality, right? So creating the opportunity for development, improve skills from an analytic to be contextualized. Okay, so for me, the first thing, okay, I have to check with a player is analyze. Here I have the example of some players on my left. I was working with Adaimara when he was in Zaragoza. Now, actually, he was in UCLA, and after now, he's going to be in Michigan next year. Amazing prospect. Or Juan Núñez, now he's playing at Barcelona ACB, but he will move to Germany, and he was from Real Madrid youth programs. And after I was working, for example, down over there with Ana, which is one player. In that moment, he was in the under 21 national team for Spain. So all of them, they had different situations. So I analyze them and I prepare a plan. And after the plan, something that I like, okay, to be, because I think that this is making like a bit sweet the cake, is like to be the innovation, to be creative, and after from that be consistent. So if I detect one player is just very good finishing, but when he's going on the left, he finishes always with the right, I'm gonna try to force him, okay, to finish with the left. That okay, the same example that you can see in the first one over there. For example, right? This is not related with the past, but just to let you know that first analyze and after put, okay, the plan. Then, what is the plan, okay, about the workouts, as I say to you? And the first question is, can passing be trained in individual workouts? So I would like now, okay, if some of you have any idea, if you say to me yes or no, or it's very difficult. What do you think, guys?
This is where coaches, you can unmute yourselves if you want to answer coach's question here. Can passing be trained in individual workouts? What do you guys think? We'll give them a moment to think about it.
Yes.
You have to be a little more creative, I think. If you have a trainer, obviously you could have a one-person workout with a trainer where that's helpful. But at the youth level, I've taught a lot of kids how to use the wall. If you're just up against the wall, you can practice at least some of the accuracy with the passing, some of the different types of passes. It's possible, but it does take a bit more creativity.
Yes. More? I was going to pick up my ball.
Anybody else? Any opinions on passing in private workouts? Can it be done? I just know that when I grew up, I was a point guard, and I had a player development coach who had me regularly working on passing. And like Coach James just said, I was using a wall all the time just to build the technical skill of it. 2 balls against the wall, all different types of 3 balls, but I'm sure there can be more effective ways to work on it. But I know that wall passing, partner passing is all at times common.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you can add a defender,
sorry.
that always. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
My apologies. My apologies. I definitely think that is something that could be worked on personally. If you, especially if you have an active coach, you guys can do it together. As far as like you're getting your workout in as well too while you're training your player. So it's like I could be showing a player I'm working with certain passes, and he could be, and I could be his partner as well too while he's doing that, so we can learn the accuracy.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Because I feel you
I
have to
listened the
be able
last
to
part.
train as a coach. You got to be able to work on every aspect of the ball, not just one side. You know,
Yeah.
everything's important. You should be able to work on that because you don't want to be focused on exactly one thing in the game when there's different parts of the games as well. And passing is very important. Sorry.
Absolutely. Coach, he was going in and out a little bit there, but we got the last part of it.
Yes.
Talking about being an
I
active coach. Oh,
apologize.
it's all good, Coach. Just a little in and out.
Yes.
We got the idea of it talking about you got to be an active coach and basically go through it with your player. That just adds to the dynamics of the workout, and coaches got to be willing to do that too, right? So,
Absolutely. Well, I mean,
Yes.
the thing is like, okay, I think that being creative in this kind of situation is one of the solutions, or is gonna give you, okay, some opportunities to develop. So in that situation, for example, here, even if I say to you that, okay, when I was working with Adai here with the left, we were finishing, but this touch that I was working with him in the finish, it was also important for the passing after. Actually, here on my right, in the part of the these two players with these images that I create with EI, actually is something that I was working with some players in China because I wanted to work more his touch, right? So then I was working with a ball inside of a bag, all right? And after I was working the kind of passing, all right, or the kind of just dribbling or the touch to lose some control to just after have more control. Same here with some gloves. There is some special gloves as well to work out, and then you can just improve the touch, the control of the ball, that at the end of the day is gonna improve the kind of pass. And after, I'm gonna just give you some of the workouts I have here, if I can carry on with the presentation, with one workout that I was doing with Anna when she was, as I say, in the under 21 national team over there. So working is not a wall, okay, but it's a net that now you can buy in some places, and after work, okay, about let's see the different options of passing. So here I want to ask you, wait, sorry, this is the next one.
that's not a bad facility right there.
No, it's not. That was Zaragoza, and that was very good. So then, basically, this one is pretty easy, okay? Technique, two balls, okay? And after she's passing, I just saying to, oh, sorry. I'm saying to her, this is a little cone here or little cone here, and she pass to that cone, and after finish with pick and roll. So the question, and sorry because that one is in Spanish, but it's a video that is in my channel in YouTube. Okay, I'm asking, is there a decision making, coaches, in this exercise that we watch? You can unmute as well. So in this exercise, I put you again. Is there any decision making?
What do you think, coaches? Any decision here?
It looks like set repetitions. Doesn't look like there's decisions to be made within this drill.
So then it's not a decision making for you?
I depends on if there's options. Are they going left or right? Are they given a direction after the pass? Are they told how to score?
So let's see. Okay, you have a chat, right? So put in the chat over there, yes or not.
Okay, let me get in here. I'm gonna say
Easy one. So yes, no. So you can just put no decision, yes decision over there.
coaches, you can put in the chat if you think this is a yes, there's a decision involved, or no decision involved.
No decision.
We got a couple of yeses, we got some no's.
Yes, okay.
Looks like we're split right here.
Good, good, good. That's a good one, Matt.
Yeah. Couple, yeah. We got some yeses and some nos. One, two.
Okay, so well, inside of that one, okay, in this, as the coach was talking before, it's a repetition. So she's dribbling. So it's not any decision over there because she's just doing passing, passing, passing. And when I point to the left, she has to do what I'm saying to her. So this is not a decision making. So can be thinking like the people, okay, she has to pass over there to the con, but she is doing what I'm doing, what I'm saying to her to do. So in that situation, she didn't have to decide anything. So she needs to look, watch, and react. So this is like what we call a guide exercise. For me, it's very important, this definition, because sometimes we are thinking that we are doing decision making, and actually we are doing guide exercises. Guide exercises, they are very important to improve the decision making at the end. Because, for example, when I put her to pass on her right with the left hand, bounce pass is because I want her to improve the passing with the left. In this kind of situation, like a diagonal pass into the low post, right? So if I'm pointing the right, she has to pass with the right to the opposite in diagonal, right? Then I'm forcing, when I was doing this exercise, if you watch me this exercise doing 10 times, I'm doing 7, 8 times, forcing her to pass with the left because it's a skill I want to see improve, right? And no with the right because it's something that with the right she is doing good, okay? So in this situation, it's a guide exercise to improve the decision making, but it's not a decision making. We develop this exercise, if you allow me to carry on, and it's a progression from the side, like passing, like imagine one interior player, right? I have some nets that instead of here, they are small nets, more to just do like, if it's like a bounce pass. But let's see, here we are just having like this pass. After, when I say to her like under, she has to do like under the legs. Sorry, I'm putting again here. When I say to her under, she needs to do under the legs and pass again, right? So then anytime that she decides she receives with the left, because she needs to improve the left, I'm saying under, and she needs to just directly take and go under and pass again with the right, okay? And after, improve this kind of thing depending of my, okay, of my talk. After, how we connect that exercise with other exercise? We go and then the coach is mentioning one color after pick and roll, and she needs to pass this pass that we were saying with the left, okay? Now, like for a player that is cutting in the opposite side with a bounce pass. So then she's doing and the player decides. So then we put together everything and starting from the corner, going repetition to improve the passing, and after that, play the pick and roll, and they go to the color that we decide. Again, it's not a decision making because the player is not deciding yet anything. I hope that a good idea and a good position. After, another option also with players in this situation was when I was working in England, and we put some resistance here. The player was playing for a pick and roll. This coach is doing a hedge, and when he pass, boom, he has to go like in kind of a split, and after passing inside, right? So then we put that one, And this player, instead of hedge, we see this coach that is like under, okay, here. So then we want he goes and attack. Why? Because he's a lefty player. So then we don't want to play with in this angle to the edge to pass with the left, because we want he improve the passing with the right. So then after the pick and roll, we want he pass with the right. That's why the coach with the player in white here is doing more flat, and with the player in blue here, because he's right, he's doing more hedge in this situation. If you see the same exercise going in the other way, we force the other situation. Why? To have more repetitions with the hand that we want to improve, right? So again, in this exercise, it's not a decision making. If you go for the hedge, then crossover and pass inside with the left. If we go with the flat, attack, all right, and pass with the right like a bounce pass. Okay, creating the opportunity for development. In that way, you are developing. When I was in China, my first practice, I was just working with some interior players, right? And then I was focused, as you can see in these images that I mentioned before, in the improve the passer. And it was like, okay, the passer. But I was working with the bigs, and I realized that it was not only the passer who I had to improve. It was also the reception player as well. Why? Because some of the bigs, when they had the ball, okay, on the dominant hand, on the right, for example, they were very good. So if one player was playing the pick and roll to his left and pass to the role player, that the role player was right, going to the right, he catch the ball very easy. It doesn't matter if the passer had some mistake up or down, because he catch the ball. What happened when a right ball handler play the pick and roll to the right? That the role player that was right as well was rolling with the left, and then he had some problems because he missed some passes. So then what we were doing? We were improving the no dominant hand for the big guys. So then, first of all, we were saying to them all the time, we want they ask the ball here, no here. Why? Because if you have the ball here and the passers has some mistake, this player can just catch the ball, okay, because of the extension. If you ask the ball there and the passer has some mistake, you don't have more rope to pass. So then the first thing, okay, was like, ask the ball, okay, here instead of outside, because of the passer, let's see, tolerance mistake, right? After, what we were doing is like the same reception, the same ball with a back that we were working with the ball handlers. I put that for the bigs to have receptions with the bad hand, okay? And then we improve in a few weeks. We improve a lot the situation of the catch, because it was not slippery. It was not like we catch much better that balls. So, well, that was like a kind of tricky, but to be honest, in the precision in China, was working. Again, if we want to create the opportunity, we need to practice the opportunity. So, for example, Lenovo Tenerife have the between 22% to 25% of their possessions end in an assist. So imagine if they have like 80 possessions, they have 20 assists. Maths. Then, why? Because they practice that. They practice a lot, extra pass, extra pass, extra pass, extra pass. So then, let's see here, okay, one example of that basketball that they are playing with, in this case, Chus Vidaurreta, and some great players like Marcelinho, Sermadini. Let's see. Pass. Okay. situation of grenade, no, pass, extra pass, boom, fake, all right. Okay, so if you want this, my thing is like, if you want this, you have to practice this. So, okay, coach, and how we practice? Here, for example, is a clinic that I did for like one region in Spain, my region, Aragon. And it was for these players, they were like under 16 regional players, right? And in that year, I was like 3 years in ACB in Zaragoza that we reached the semi-final. We did very good. And after I took 1 year and I was like in a youth program in Stadium Casablanca, right? So I developed a lot, and in there I was saying, okay, we need to do more of these things, okay, in high level. Actually, next year after I went to Gran Canaria and after China, etc. But in that year, I took a lot, okay, from the youth programs. And then I was coaching an under 14 team. This one is under 16. And that's how we start the practices. Okay, starting, okay, 2 balls, 2 players, passing, progression, starting in static, go for movement, right? So, okay, then from static, we can see some players, sorry about this because I cannot control. Some players, they are already moving, okay, in movement. Okay, now we are going to see that the coach is like having some opposition, but if they pass and cross, they can also touch the ball of the other players to disturb and to just make the other players like run or make more difficult. From this movement, okay, they have a target and they have to score. After passes, they have to score 2, 5, 3 baskets, and after they have to go to the middle. So then from the passing, we are adding like a target and they compete. So it's a way to have like create a progression, and how many passes you can do in like the first 10 minutes of the practice when we are warming up. So we could have like more than 50, 60, 70 passes, okay, in the first like 3, 4, 5 minutes, and that was like a warm up. So then we ended with this under 14 team that I was saying to you, being the youngest team because I have like some under 13s actually in that team, but the team that we had more passes per possession in the whole league, right? So we passed and everybody was like, oh, how these young girls, they're passing the ball. They were practicing that. That's why we were passing the ball.
Can I ask you a question, Coach?
Yeah, of course.
Is this a progression you would use with a professional team also, or would you just use this with the youth?
Why not?
Okay, just
so
check.
The thing is like, if I now, for example, I'm not doing these kind of things, but because we have like a strength and conditioning coach and the structure of the practice is different. It's not like that versatile, right? So
Right.
actually I'm here like associate head coach, so I'm not making this kind of decision, and the team was like having like this experience from before. So sometimes you have to adapt a little bit, but I like, and but I'm not, for example, last year in Indonesia, I was doing this kind of thing sometimes, but not all the time. So sometimes we were like, okay, we have like to do like 10 passes and after basket, right? So pass, and after opposition, and after no opposition, and after in pairs and no in pairs, and after like, okay, another day I'm making some game that is useful to do like strength and conditioning, or no strength and conditioning, warming up, sorry. So the strength and conditioning coach is like using that one, and after they can do like the regular stretching or the regular just conditioning for the body. But what is doing one player when arrive to the court? Take a ball, right? So take a ball and shoot. Okay, so my idea with the young program was, okay, take a ball, pass, and after shoot. So then we improve that one. So why not? So with one professional team that we are just practicing even more, the thing is like you have more time to do some specifics. The problem for the youth program is like you don't have that much time to to do some specific works. So then you have to use the time that you have, optimize that time, and that's why I was putting this kind of exercise.
Okay, got you. Thanks, coach.
Oh, my pleasure. So then, okay, more things here, for example, with some youth program, but actually exercise that you can see in a big case as well. Static, pass, cut, boom, pass, cut, go, 4 corners. Okay? I want to give you, I'm sure that probably 90% of you watch this kind of drill, right? So it's just one drill, pass, cut, okay, pass, cut, perfect. Is one example. But this kind of drill can just be improved. So let's see here. Pass, boom, close out, attack, boom, pivoting, pass. Close out, boom, attacking, pivoting, pass. Okay? So the important thing here is like sometimes in like practices, we practice the pass, but we don't practice the footwork. We don't practice the pivoting. So here is just option with the same exercise as before. Modify, same structure, corners. Okay, we go and pivoting and pass. Attack the close out, you can put it, okay, boom, pivoting and pass.
Try to jump stop and land.
Because here, as well, example of go, boom, pivoting, more analytic than before, and pass. Because one of the things that I detected when I was working in youth programs is like, we are not working about the pivoting enough. We need to understand how to pivot, especially now that we have the 0 step. So we need to know how to stop, 1 stop, 2 stops, 3 stops. And after pivot, with what pivot, and find the right way and the right space for the pass, right?
Offense.
And after, of course, you can just use that one in a situation, attack, paint touch, pass. How many times we say, okay, we need to paint touch and pass. Okay, so practice it. Paint touch, pass. Paint touch, pass. Paint touch, pass. Penetration, paint touch, pass. Right? And from there, any player, we can say, okay, now I'm asking you, is this exercise any decision making? Yes, no, you can put in the chat, okay? I put in again, and you put in the chat, please. Do we have here decision making?
Coaches, you can put yes or no in the chat if you think this drill has a decision. Let's see if we got any answers yet. We got a no.
You tell me more or less, Matt, because I cannot see the chat.
Yeah, we got a mix. We got 1 no, 1 yes, 1 no, 1 no. So right now I got 4-2 and no. 4 no's, 2 yeses so far. A 5th no. 5 no's, 2 yeses.
Okay, so then for me, all right, and that's why I was like playing this game. In this exercise, tactically, there is not a decision making. Technically, it is a decision making. So in terms of skill, the player, the coach is not fixing, okay, you have to pass with the right or with the left. So he can choose if I'm gonna pass the drill, the tactical drill is paint touch and pass. You don't have any decision making that. Okay. But how to pass? I have to decide right or left. Okay. So then you can see most of the players that they are right here, they go and they pass with the right. They go and they pass with the right. They go and they pass with the right. This player pass with the left. Okay, so then they can choose what hand they can use. What I will say if I want to improve the non-dominant pass, so I will say to them, okay, pass Matt, you are gonna pass with the left because you are right. Okay? Peter, you are gonna pass with the right because you are left, whatever. Okay? Or every time that we are going and dribbling with the right, because we are penetrating with the right, I want you pass without not taking the ball with two hands. I want you pass with the right. And if you penetrate with the left, I want you pass with the left without not taking the ball with two hands. Because actually, all of them, they were just paint touch, catch the ball with two hands, and one. Actually, this is not a pass with one hand. It's what I call one pass with one hand and a half, right? Because if you pass, catch the ball and pass holding here, for me it's like one hand and a half, right? So after, okay, if you make dribbling, no catch the ball and pass, it's like over the dribbling, you pass and you are improving more the speed of the drill.
Offense involved. So we will.
So we are gonna go
offense
here,
side
for
advantage.
example, pass 2, 3 players against 2. Fake, 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 and go. So this is exercise, okay, with opposition. With opposition. Okay. So what is the next? After watch that one, after watch the first one, what is the next exercise? What do you think, guys? And now, yes, you can talk a little bit. Any idea, coaches? We watch the first exercise, paint touch and kick out, 2 against 0. Now we have 3 against 2. Static. The question is very easy. What is the next?
Any ideas, coaches? The next progression, what it might be? If you were copying
I would
these.
think if you're
live 3-on-2.
Sorry, say that again.
Is it a
Would it be a
live
3-on-2 or
2-on-2?
2-on-1? Oh.
Yeah.
What was that, Coach Austin?
A live game situation on 3-on-2.
3-on-2. Okay. And Coach James, you were saying?
Yeah, I was just thinking as a natural progression, maybe you're giving them more freedom of movement as opposed to a baseline drive and a fill up top. Maybe you're just allowing more freedom of movement to give them more decisions before you let them play live.
Yeah, okay. Like I agree with you. I think that that's the right, accurate also. Okay, Coach Austin, you were right. More like you can play paint touch, 3 against 2, kick out, and after maybe more real situation, the skills that you are working against 0, put that one in 3 against 2, which is already like opposition, and after 3 against 3, right? So maybe with some advantage for penetration, some help, and then more situation, which is gonna give you at the end some catch and shoot, very okay, open, right? So in that one, it's gonna be a real progression. I agree with that one. So I don't want to be like extend too much tonight. So I'm gonna carry on with the presentation, guys, because I like a lot the talk, but we are gonna have like time at the end of the whole presentation. Because for me, after that, how we can improve like in a high level. So the high level is the same as in the youth program. The only thing that the things happen quicker. So we need to improve the speed. So here, for example, we can see like, and the coach, I put the volume is like, more speed, pass. Actually, this is very similar, okay, of the corners, but instead of the corners, it's passing outside, but it's quicker. So, and that's the thing like happen normally in high level. So the coaches wants the same, but quicker. Pass, boom, replay, boom, pass, inverse the ball, reverse the ball. Open, pivoting, reverse the ball. Open, pivoting, reverse the ball. So the pivoting that we were talking before, but in like a scenario that is going to happen, because how many times you reverse the ball through a big or through a player that is in the top. And you can see here even players that they sleep and they go, okay, because they want to do super quick, right? So that's the next level for me over there. So let's talk now about data on the sharing the ball. Assist percentage, okay, in a successful team that share the ball well, tend to have higher offensive efficiency, right? Top players in assists, for example, for me, two of the best passing players in the history is like Chacho Rodriguez or Milos Teodosic. If you don't know them, okay, I invite you to have some video and to watch some video because for me, something that is important in youth programs is to have reference for the players. And probably you can put some good ideas about them. Actually, I have an interesting history when I was working with Luis Gil. Luis Gil was coaching Chacho when he was in national team in youth programs. And he said to him, okay, you are having double-double every game. You have more than 10 points because he was very talented, and you have more than 10 turnovers pretty every game. Why? Because he was just passing, and obviously he was maybe 10 assists, but he was also 10 turnovers. That makes him, after in high level, okay, one of the best passers in history. But the tolerance of the coaches when he was in youth program was pretty good. And after, again, impact of passing on offensive efficiency, better scoring opportunities, especially, for example, one example, Golden Warriors. So we will see now, because Golden Warriors was one of the best in pass per possession index. I don't know if you control this. So I put here Jaume Ponsarnau. Jaume Ponsarnau is now a head coach in Bilbao. He has been head coach in Valencia. And he was, when I was in England, visiting me, and he had like a stage over there for 3 months. And he teach me about this pass per possession. So it's number of passes a team makes in one possession, right? So for example, here is the statistics for that year that Golden State Warriors is making like a 321 passes per game, right? So that makes like in a game like is 100 possessions is more than 3.2 passes per possession, right? So is that a lot, or is just that very few? You imagine like how many times you have one player in a fast break and no one touched the ball. This is a 0 pass in that possession. So to have like more than 3 is like a great passing. Actually, only they pass the 3 passes per possession. Indiana Pacers, Minnesota, Sacramento, they were in like 3, but no more than 3, right? That makes like they were like close to 30 assists per game. This almost 3 assists more in average that in this case Indiana Pacers is like crazy. It's a lot. Actually, 3 more in a basketball is like between 6 to 9 points more. And 6 and 9 points in a game that is like average 90 points, we are talking about 10%. And 10% of your points, from my perspective, is a lot. So actually, assist point created is like 79 points after assist in average. In average, that means like they were the best team in catch and shoots of the whole league. That year they won the league. Atlanta, they were the worst, and they only create 62 points from assist. So I put in that one, okay, to show you that sometimes this kind of information in Europe, in Asia, is very difficult to find. In America, that they have control every data is easier, to be honest. But I wanted just to show you the interesting point to measure, okay, in high level, the impact of the pass. So, I mean, I don't know if for some of you is a new concept, but when I found with Jaume, it was very interesting because in that moment we detected some teams in England that they were like 1.5 passes per possession only. And it was like, wow. Then what you have to do if you find something like that? So you need to force the player that receive the ball to pass the ball because they are not good in passing the ball, right? And actually that was some key to make the teams to increase the deflections and increase the turnovers of the other team and the steals for our team. So just I threw there because maybe it's not the concept of the topic today to make this kind of scouting, but it was interesting because all the information you put in like your bag in basketball, and for some of you, probably the passing in 4 corners is gonna give you a new exercise that you never see before. For some of you, probably maybe this is the good important thing that you are gonna have in this clinic. So then here we have the golden pass, pass, fake, boom, pass, pass. All right, move, pass, pass, paint touch, pass, right? So beautiful basketball, right? So after that, I mean, I wanted just to share with you here, for example, for me, something very, very important. I say before, like we need to be tolerant with the mistake. Why? Because it's the stage of learning, right? So initially in the stage 0, sometimes the player is unconscious. Sorry, in the stage 1, the player is unconscious that is incompetent. So the player sometimes is not conscious that, okay, I need to improve passing with the left because no one, I'm passing, but maybe I don't need to pass with the left. So if you put him in like a situation that he has to pass with the left and then he starts having turnovers, maybe he pays to the second stage. Okay, he's conscious now that he's not competent with the left, right? After, when he's conscious about that, he wants to start working about that. And he's asking you, okay, coach, give me some guidance, okay, to just start passing, okay, and improving that. And then he's going to arrive to one point that is conscious, that is competence. But to pass with the left, still he needs to think, I'm passing with the left. And at the end of the day, he's going to arrive one day that in this similar action, he's playing in a game and he's going to pass with the left, boom, over there without no thinking. And that day, you coach, you are going to sleep very happy because he's going to say, okay, that's what we are working. So we were working about that and he's doing now, like when you are starting driving. So you start driving and say, okay, I know that I don't know that I don't know. After you know that you don't know. After you know that you know. And at the end of the day, now you are, most of you probably that you are driving, you don't think that, okay, where is the brake, where is the gear? You don't think about that because you are doing unconscious. So that just finishing the last part. The Chacho, which I say to you, this is an example how he passed. I'm not going to put in youth program where he had more than 10 turnovers, but I'm going to push this one because it's beautiful how he can just pass the ball in his last year for winning the EuroLeague with Real Madrid, right? So he was just passing with very good resilience and confidence. Creativity for me is this player, right? So Teodosic. So it's a good reference, as I say to you, to put some videos of a player that is looking, okay, boom, and he's saying, no, I'm going to pass you here, right? So it's very, very nice to put some examples and after work about that example. Sometimes I'm putting one video for the kids, especially in post-season, in some camps. So I put in some example of some of these clips, and after we break the movement and we work about that. And okay, we call that one, for example, Theodosic pass or Chacho pass, right? So then it's interesting to put some references to improve some skills. Same as I was saying, for players, I like to put references of players. For coaches as well, I like to put references of coaches. For me, it's Selko Obradovic, one of the best coaches in Europe for sure. He coached Fenerbahce, winning the EuroLeague, and as well, they were like a Golden Warriors in this year, the best passing team in the whole competition. Why? They were creating the advantage, and from the advantage, they create, and they were for like a paint touch, boom, kick out, paint touch, boom, kick out, and create the advantage, and after attack the mismatch, right? So I think that is a beautiful basketball, and it's interesting if you just type Fenerbahce, Obradovic, okay, EuroLeague winner, so you have a lot of these videos. And then basically, okay, I just open for any question. I think that now more or less should be the time. I think I don't have here the watch, but I say to you more or less 1 hour, Matt, and that's what we have.
That was some dang good timing, Coach. You're right on 59 minutes. So appreciate you. Coaches, feel free to unmute. Anybody has any questions for Coach? Now would be the time. Coach, do you also want to tell everyone where they can follow you in case they want to, I don't know, just stay in
Yeah,
tune?
for sure. I mean, I have my Instagram and my Twitter. Actually, if you
Maybe you want to type it in the group chat, or you can show us.
Yeah, for sure. Here I mean,
Okay.
Here is my email, okay? But the first part of my email that I copy here and I'm gonna put in the chat. So is my Instagram and my Twitter that you can just follow me over there.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for Coach? If not, that means you probably explained yourself pretty well. One thing I really liked is the idea of with scouting, forcing certain players and forcing certain teams to pass more than they want to, because you're always scouting which guys can shoot, which can't, if they go right, if they go left, right? So I think that's kind of an added element for coaches that I guess are at the level where scouting matters to them, just something to think about, trying to find ways to force even teams, but individuals to have to pass more if they're not great passers.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a great question, right? So for example, I had here like a couple of, now we are in I'm in charge of defense here now, and I'm very happy because it's working very good. Maybe now we are going quarterfinal and we receive like 120 points every game, you know. But for example, it was one game that we had like one player in front of us that he was hell of a player, very good going to the right, very good going to the left, finishing on the rim. And we detected that through synergy, I found that when he was going to the left and he passed the ball, and when he was going to the right and he passed the ball, so on the right was like no bad, but on the left he increased the turnovers for 22%, right? So well, I mean that was good because 22% is a lot for a player that is going and is making 24 points per game. And after he's making 6 assists per game as well. So then we try to force him to go to left, but after going to left, force him to pass.
Yeah.
And it's true that we make him like to have some turnovers over there. That was a key for that in that moment. And I think that was important. So yes, I mean, I think it's important to this kind of scouting because in that one was very specific player. I think that some other players is more clear, like, okay, they tend to maybe send to the right because on the right, maybe they go more for shooting. it's very interesting. For example, we had like a player in the past. I'm not gonna say who, but he was a lefty, and everybody was going to send him to the right, and it was very weird because when you watch him going to the right, he was better than going to the left because going to the right, he can just have like a step back for shooting, and after in that situation because he was more space, he was making some more assists going to the right than going to the left because with going to the right was going to the right, catch the ball very good, and after pass okay with one hand and a half, as we were watching the video, much better than when he was going to the left, because when he was going to the left, he was normally going to finish close to the rim, and if you have a good helps over there, maybe he cannot finish never. So it was interesting because we were saying, okay, we are not gonna say because he's our player, but in the practices, when you wanted to kill a little bit, you were saying to the players, okay, send to the left and have the first help and force him to pass because he's gonna stamp, and that happened, right?
I have
So,
the exact same situation with my team. I got a lefty that teams think they should force right, and he's better going right. Passes better going right too, ironically. So it's funny. It's good to have synergy, right? And tools like that.
yeah. It's synergy and Insta, they are pretty cool.
Coach, you got a question in the chat. How do we practice passing out of double teams so that we can help star players counter that scouting?
That we can help star players counter scouting. Well,
Star players getting double teamed. Any ideas for passing out of double teams?
Well, the first thing, okay, depends of the stage we are talking, right? So if we are talking in a professional level, you are putting that, and if the player cannot do it, so you have like some player development coaches and some staff, and you put okay a program for okay every day now after practice you are gonna start just working about that and work the retrieve dribbling, and first thing is don't have turnover, and after if the player cannot play against a double team, don't put that player to play the pick and roll when you know that the other team is doing double team. So I mean, I'm talking honestly, it's not like a joke. It's like if you have like a team, you have to compete and you have to perform, and your result is that important that we are in professional level. So I'm not gonna put like the player that cannot dribbling good with the left and pass with the left playing the pick and roll to the left. So I'm gonna put him to play to the right. Probably he's gonna just reduce his like turnovers, and I'm gonna try to improve. If after I want to improve the skills, as we were saying, put some guidance exercises that force him to face this action, and after you need to pass. So if we are in a stage that they are like a young program that we need to improve, is we need to start in analytics, okay, dribbling, okay, retrieve pass, okay, some repetitions about this movement. You can work as well, something I didn't do, I didn't say, but I like to speak with the strength and conditioning coach and do this kind of body mechanics in like a strength and conditioning session as well. So you add this movement, maybe with like a heavy ball, maybe with some resistance, as we were watching in the video before. So everything with like a strength and conditioning coach that can just help you, okay, to have the same action, and the muscle memory is gonna work as well to do after in a real with the ball, right? And you can just add all of this and after improve that one, and when the player is ready to do it, so put in a real situation. But as I say in the past, so if you want improve that one, you need to have a lot of repetition for the player of that. That's my idea. But I don't know, Matt, what do you think as well?
Well, I like that. I mean, everything you just said is spot on. I liked your 3-on-2 progressions as well. I think because if this coach coaches youth, I think just flip that, right? If you want to deal with double teams,
Yes.
you get a 2-on-3, 3 defenders, and then 2 guys, and you can use similar progressions. I think that's a way, because coach gave us some good drills for that already. You can just make more defenders and offensive players and keep some similar type of progressions.
Yes, definitely. It's like a kind of games that and funny games, especially in the youth programs, that can just give that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Any questions for Coach?
I have a few questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I seen your passing drills, and this is just from my perspective also. I seen the passing drill is mostly focused on the reps and also the skills of passing from the player. And I feel like I want to blend in more of a game-like situation and things like that. In the game passing or in some scheme or situation like pick and roll and stuff to so what do you think about that, and what ratio would be an ideal if I want to blend in on what should be more focused on?
Well, I mean, as I say, for example, in the first one of the first videos that I was putting, for example, with Anna, she was playing a pick and roll, and after passing, I was putting the cons over there, or the exercise that I put as well with in England. So I had a resistance, and we were reading like a pick and roll defense over there. So, and after we were passing like a inside, like thinking like it's a roll or if it's a cut. So from that analytics, you can put in the real situations. Of course, after you have to play. So this is a more like a kind of analytics drills that, as you say, repetitions, they are gonna give like the skill to develop after in a real game. You can have a lot of theories here. So just put the players to play and let's see how they pass. And you can just after see how they pass, and if it's working for the level you are, perfect. But maybe with this situation, you will have never a player that is passing under the back, or never a player that is passing under the head. So then if you want like be creative as well for them, so you need to break this like in a real game from Teodosic or from Chacho, have like that kind of reference, break down this kind of pass, baseball pass, improve this kind of skill that after is going to happen in the game. If we are expecting that just playing a player make like a pass, let's see, under the legs for one other player, or after pick and roll, make like a bounce pass that is gonna arrive to the right player. I doubt that this is happening. So yes, some players they can do it, but if you want like again, I'm giving you options. A skip pass from 45 degrees to the corner because they play a hedge with a super last, and we need to pass that one. And it's also a pass with the right here over the head, and I'm lefty. Even in high level, I can say to you in ACB, the only player able to do that when I was over there like 3 years ago was Marcelinho Huertas. With the non-dominant hand, with the dominant hand, more players. But with the non-dominant hand, probably only one him. So if we want to improve the skills for the players to do that, you need some specific and analytics works and sometimes repetition, right? I'm not fan of the repetitions, to be honest. I'm just saying to you this, but at the same time, I'm saying I'm not fan of the repetitions because I think that at some point they are boring. So you need to mix.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Coach.
No, I hope the answer likes you.
Okay, Coach. I think we'll call it a day. If anybody has more questions for him, he just put his Instagram in there too. If you're okay with anybody,
Yeah, of course.
put
So
some
you can put me like an Insta, all right, and we can just be in touch over there. So again, Matt, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you just to make me part of this group. I think that you are doing a great thing, and I think that everybody's here just spending some time with me. So I very, very appreciate, and I just wish you all the best, and see you on the court.
Absolutely. I took some notes, so thanks, Coach. I got a lot out of it and appreciate you. I know it's after 11 p.m. there, so appreciate your time and best of luck with your playoff run in Japan too.
Thank you very much. So finger crossed. Let's see if we don't have any injuries, and we can just be everybody healthy. Enjoy this dream, which is like to be in a playoff here. And thanks again one more time for
Yep.
your support. And I am one more of your seminar PCA.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Much appreciated. Also, coaches, thank you for all of you that tuned in today. We appreciate you just tuning in here. We'll be doing these once a month, so this was a great one. You got a couple good luck messages in the playoffs in the group chat there too.
Thank
So,
you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
appreciate you. See you guys.